So the first question that we came up with was apparently on the Twitters, it's been confirmed that Minecon 2014 is going to be in Europe. So is there any more info that you can reveal? And also, we wanted to know, has there ever been any talk about maybe doing two Minecon events per year, expanding somehow, like maybe one in the US, one in Europe, etc.?
Hmm. Very good questions.
No comment.
We start out with the easy ones. Um, well, I didn't actually know that it was announced that it was in Europe until like very recently. Um, the main reason we don't like announce where it is and so on is because we want to make sure everything is booked.
Yeah.
Unlike some venues.
Yeah, exactly, right? Unlike some
But
conventions.
yeah, we have to make sure like everything, every single detail is 100% confirmed before we can say it. But
Yeah,
we've definitely been looking in Europe, and that's pretty much all we've confirmed at this point. I mean, we know where we want it to be. We know a rough plan of like a rough schedule of what we want, but since none of it's confirmed, we don't really want to put it out there and then disappoint a lot of people who are
Right.
planning on going to it. And the other half, I think you said you wanted two Minecons.
I didn't say I wanted it. I just said,
I said
have you
we
ever
did.
thought about it?
It's
It's a lot of planning.
extremely hard to plan Minecon, and we try to keep it small. That's why we have such a low amount of people who can go there. It's
Right.
like one of the main complaints we get after Minecon is, why was it so small? Why couldn't you add like 10,000 more tickets?
Yeah.
But then one of the most complaints we get during Minecon is there's too many people and there's not enough things to do. You got to lower the amount of people that's here.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many pens you can give out to people, right?
Oh, low blow. We got to make sure that we have enough content that justifies two unique events.
There's a balance there.
And we also, I mean, we don't make anything from Minecon.
Yeah,
It's a
I was
huge
just going to
cost.
ask that. Is it in any way profitable?
Not in the slightest.
Okay. Wow. So,
But what we have been doing recently is like try to encourage community-driven ones, which really hasn't gone well yet, but we haven't really put down ground rules for it yet. So we're working on something to help with that.
Yeah, that's another question we have that we want to ask you. That's actually the next question. Speaking of Minecraft conventions, what is your take on the unofficial conventions, such as the Meeting of the Minds one, which everyone knows about, and Minorama coming up, which some people have been skeptical of, and is Mojang? Well, you said Mojang was taking some measures to kind of try to work with something, maybe like I don't know. Do you guys have an idea of maybe trying to make something where they have to meet certain requirements, and then maybe you kind of give them a stamp of approval, so then it's more like a kind of official, unofficial thing? Or is it just like you want to try to police it somehow and make sure people aren't taking advantage of people using your guys' name in a way, you know?
like a Fight Club chapter in each state, like that runs autonomous.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it. That's a very good question and actually a very good idea. You should come work for us.
Got it.
We're actually doing exactly that. We're trying to come up with like a bunch of ground rules that conventions would need to follow to get our approval, I guess. So I'll start up with what do I think about the current conventions that are going around. The one where, was it Meeting of the Minds, was it?
Right.
Yeah, that was the controversial one.
Yeah, that's the controversial one. And there's one coming up, Minorama?
Yes, in New York, I believe.
So many minds, it's hard to keep track of the names.
Right.
So the one that happened, I don't know too much about it personally. I know that a lot of bad stuff happened, but I also know a lot of people are saying bad stuff happened when it actually didn't.
Right.
So I think that was kind of a good attempt at, well, someone went in with good intentions, possibly, and it just kind of went downhill from there.
I kind of think that's what the last episode we did. I think it was, or the one before, we mentioned this.
Yeah, it
and
was
I
two
kind of came
episodes
to that
ago.
conclusion as well. I think I don't know if it was a scam. I think maybe they had good intentions, but at the same time they didn't know what they were getting into, so they're still at fault for trying to put something together like that and not delivering.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do something like that, you have to deliver. That's the thing. Like if you let
Yeah,
people down, you're going to have to deal with it.
it looks really easy. Well, it looks fairly easy from outside. It's like, well, it's a game. It's for kids, so kids won't
Yeah.
expect much. We'll just throw something, and they'll have fun because it's a thing for them. But in reality, unless you have some kind of experience with it already, unless you know exactly what you're getting into, then exactly this situation happens, and then everyone's really disappointed in you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as one of the things we're going to try and cover with our rules, I believe, is the kind of standards you need for the venue and events that would be going on there. Just so you would need some kind of proof that this is actually going to happen and this is actually a thing that you have faith in. And not just, yeah, we hope it's going to be fun and we hope that a bunch of parents won't get angry when their kids get
Yeah.
upset.
All right.
And the
Yeah,
one
make sure
coming
they-
up,
Yeah.
I don't know much about that, but yeah, I don't really know much about the one coming up, so I can't say if it's going to be good, if it's going to be bad, but just always go in with a healthy amount of caution.
Right.
Yeah. Of
Don't
course.
fly
Yeah.
across the world to go to it.
What about
If-
possibly having more influence in things like PAX, or maybe I don't know about like more influence, but just more of a established like designated Minecraft area.
Yeah, we did do a PAX. That was the first time I ever went to PAX before was for Minecraft, and we did a little booth there. I don't know why we do that anymore because that was really fun. That'd be something to ask the higher ups, I think. But
Gotcha.
it is, especially with PAX, it's flying across the world, really takes a huge
Yeah.
toll on the company. We're based in Sweden. That's like a day trip flying there and a day trip coming back.
Right.
A couple of days of jet lag. The company is basically out of action for a week or two whenever we go to an event like that.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
'cause you
think we
guys-
just try not to go to them as if we don't have to.
Because you guys are like a smaller company and everything, so
Oh,
it's
yeah,
kind of
so-
hard to do stuff like that. Other companies, they just have some guy that all he does is he goes to conventions or something, you know. So it's for you guys, you're sending out people that are not just like since like Minecraft's different than a lot of games where you're updating it frequently. Like they send you out or
Yeah.
Mark or some other people. It's like, well, now we can't work on the game, you know. So it's crazy. It's just like,
I think that
it's-
is a good point. It's a lot of games would send some kind of representative and to try and get people excited about the game, but we would send someone just to get the fans who already play our game happy.
Right,
Even though
right,
we
right.
won't gain anything from that in the slightest, it's just
Yeah,
fun
exactly.
to have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think the fans are a little bit like Mojang's a little bit different than a lot of other companies where like people know almost everyone that works for the company and they're almost like fans of the people, especially you. You've been like the one that has stood out the most, and Jeb as well. So it's crazy just because it's like a different environment.
Right.
And I think maybe another reason you guys kind of wouldn't do those PAX conventions and stuff is because you guys kind of almost stand out on your own where it's like the Minecon is something big itself. Not a lot of games have like a big convention like that. I mean, I know there's
Yeah.
like the BlizzCon or whatever, but that's for like an entire company itself. So it's crazy. Yeah, Minecraft has kind of created its own community like that, and it's a lot different than other developers, although they try to follow the same model a lot of times and it doesn't work out because you can't really capture the same magic that you guys had. It's just by chance that you guys took off and then just have kept it true. That's the thing that's cool about it. You guys have stuck by the way that the ways that you guys started with, with
Yeah.
Minecraft, and it's cool to see companies like that not really like selling out as they get big.
Yeah, yeah.